Hi there, this video is about unblocking or cleaning out the pressure chamber. I'm using a Hotpoint WM11 to work on purely because that's the machine I've got handy. I'd like to emphasise this is not a training video and any work should be carried out by a suitably competent person. Before starting work on any domestic appliance, remove the mains plug from the power supply. Okay, so what is the pressure chamber? It's a reservoir of air connected to a pressure switch. When the machine fills with water, it traps air in the chamber. As the water in the drum increases, it forces the air in the chamber up a thin hose and into the pressure switch, where it activates one or more switch contacts. Firstly, how does the chamber get blocked, or what causes the blockage? Normally it's scum from your washing, or if you don't put enough powder in with each load. It can also be caused by doing too many low temperature washes without a service or hot wash in between, or even liquid detergents can hasten the process. So in short, most machines will at some time have a blocked pressure chamber, and although companies have tried to get round the problem, it still exists. Secondly, where's it located? They're sited in different locations from one make and model to another, but are always at the lower part of the outer container. Some makes now incorporate the chamber as an integral part of the front plate. The easiest way to locate the chamber is to follow the air hose down from the pressure switch. It could be at the front, at the back, or under the machine connected to the sump hose. Thirdly, why do I need to clean it out? The pressure chamber supplies the force that operates the pressure switch, and as on this model, also affects the door interlock. So some of the effects of a blocked chamber would be the machine takes in too much water, the machine doesn't take enough water, the machine starts the wash cycle as soon as you turn it on, or the machine won't go into spin. Plus the added problem of not being able to open the door when the wash is finished. All these problems seem like major faults when you first encounter them, but for half an hour's work and practically no outlay, the fault can be cured. The first thing to do is remove as much water from the machine as possible, so tilt it backwards and prop it up with something. Then lower the outlet hose into a washing up bowl. If the hose is held onto the back of the machine with a clip, then undo it so it's as low to the ground as you can get it. When no more water comes out of it, lift the hose and stand the machine upright. Undo these two screws on the back of the lid, then you can slide it backwards and lift it off. Pull the soap drawer out as far as it will come, then give it a tug and it will come all the way out. Remove the screws in the opening and put them on one side because they're stainless steel so they don't rust, as well as being slightly longer than all the other screws. To remove the timer knob, you'll have to loosen off the clamping screw holding it onto the timer shaft, and to get to it you need to go through the hole in the top of the cabinet fascia. Behind the knob are two more screws that have to come out, and then the fascia panel can be taken off. The door seal is the next part to come off. If you use a thin bladed screwdriver and lever these two sections apart, the seal retaining wire will come out easily. Now unhook the door seal from the front of the cabinet and fold it inside the drum out of the way. Undo the two screws holding the interlock on. Don't try to take it out, just leave it where it is. It's not in any danger of getting broken. There are 3 screws along the top of the panel and 3 more under it. Remove the lower screws first. When the top 3 screws have been taken out, the front panel can be removed and placed on one side out of the way. This is the pressure chamber on this machine, but as I said, they come in different locations. the next two are from other models. To remove this chamber you'll need a dumpy Phillips screwdriver to get to the 3 screws holding it on. And don't worry about removing the hoses yet, they'll come off easier after the chamber is out. Now you've got something to grip, you can pull the air hoses off, but make a note of which hose came off which connection for when you come to put them back. This chamber is pretty well blocked, but it'll only take a few minutes under a running tap to clean it out. Some people just blow down the air pipe to release the blockage, but as you can see it's not a satisfactory solution because it doesn't actually unblock anything, it just gives you 2 or 3 more washes before it blocks up again. Before you refit the chamber, check the housing, because that also gets very congested and could well need cleaning out itself. It's easier to refit the hoses before you attach the chamber rather than after. You may want to run a bead of silicone around the chamber before replacing it, just to make sure it doesn't leak. The screws aren't in the easiest position to get to, but make sure you do them up tight or you'll have a leak and you'll have to take it all apart again. Hook the front panel over the kick plate on the bottom of the cabinet and fit the top screws first. When you put the lower screws on the panel, sight the interlock in place, attach the latch plate and screw the two together. Before you start refitting the door sill, pull it out from inside the drum so it sits evenly around the door opening. This way, when you fit it to the panel, it will go on evenly and not twisted. The retaining band is sometimes hard to get into the lip on the sill, so if you run a drop of washing up liquid between your fingers, then run the band through them, it will help it go on easier. Hook one end of the wire band into the larger of the 2 clamp sections and fit it to the clip on the panel. Feed the band in the groove around the sill and with the pronged part of the clasp join the 2 sections together. Replace the fascia panel and refit the 2 screws in the recess behind the timer knob. The knob itself will only fit in one position, so you may need to turn it until it locates. Then push it on and tighten the clamping screw. If you remember to keep these separate, you should have 4 stainless steel screws that are slightly longer than the others, because they have to screw into the soap dispenser rather than the cabinet. When they're fitted, slide the drawer in, but make sure the flap at the end is in the closed position or it won't fit. Replace the top, screw it down and you're ready to water test the machine. On behalf of Selfix UK, we'd like to thank you for watching this video and hope you found it interesting. Goodbye.